to the Gaming Lounge. This week we've got a full review of Red Dead Redemption.
Sarcasm's most unbecoming, Eli. It's going to hold you back in life, even worse than your lazy eye.
A review of the Racer Split Second. And classic gaming with Max Payne 2 on PC, Xbox and PS2. So Red Dead Redemption, it's obviously based off the GTA 4 engine. You'll tell from the compass, things like that. But aside from that, it's a completely different game. The voice acting, the authenticity of the world, just the expansiveness of everything, it's all very cinematic, and you can really get lost in all the side missions and things that you can do, much more so than you ever could in GTA 4. You've got a main story where you're John Marston, who was an outlaw and now is working for the government to bring his old gang members to justice.
To go back and tell them to send someone just a little bit more impressive next time.
Well?
On top of that, you've got stranger missions which you'll come across as question marks on your map, and you can go up to these people and they will give you things to do that will then evolve into later tasks that you'll find in other towns further down the track. On top of this, you've got random encounters. You can be just riding to your next objective and you'll have a stranger who's had his horse stolen, and you can then chase that guy. You can either take him down by killing him or lassoing him and taking him in non-lethally, which will add to your honour. This honour system plays out throughout the whole game, and basically with more honour, people just react to you differently in the world. So you can just get lost in these side missions that you'll come across, and it's a good thing though. You basically want to mix it up. You want to do a story mission, help out a stranger, and then just do a random task as you're riding to your next story mission. You've also got, on top of all this, poker, five-finger fillet, horse breaking, which is a way to get new horses. Chase the horse down, lasso it, and there'll be a little mini game where you have to break it in. The shooting mechanics for the main missions are very good. They basically take their basis from GTA 4. You can take cover as before and pop out and take shots. On top of the really engrossing sort of world and the great weather effects, you can then take that into multiplayer and start with free roam. You can then do competitive modes, capture the bag, which is a variation on your capture the flag. So you've got a massively expansive single player, really engrossing storyline, and a really nice twist at the end, which I won't spoil for you. And there's just so much there, it can just keep you going for months if you wanted. So definitely worth jumping into the world of Red Dead Redemption. Now we have a review of the Racer Split Second, which basically if Michael Bay was going to do a racing game, this would be it. If you don't believe me, watch this. So yeah, basically you're dodging planes, buildings are collapsing, cars are flying across the track, and what makes this all possible is this whole power play mechanic. You'll be drifting, getting air, drafting behind other guys, and instead of building boost like in your Burnout, something like that, you're actually building up this power play mechanic and this ability to change the track, send buildings collapsing. There are more simple ones that'll just take out one or two of the guys in front of you. More advanced ones which will change the whole track and take out an entire field of guys, and you can go from 8th to 1st in the one move. It avoids the problem of having to target and shoot at guys while you're driving. You're basically keeping an eye further down the track to see when you've got icons to take them out. Timing's really important, because if you trigger one close to another guy ahead of you, be prepared to dodge right out of the way of it, or you're going to go straight into it as well. You've got survival, which is basically a bunch of trucks that you've got to try and pass that are spewing out these explosive barrels, and you've got to try and dodge them and get past the trucks. You've also got other AI racers on the track, but they're just to basically use as cover. drive behind them and hope that they hit the barrels. We've also got a variant on the time trial mode where basically power plays are detonating all the way around the track ahead of you, and you've still got to try and get a decent time. But you will need to slow down a little bit, because if you just go flat out, you'll just go straight into a bunch of the things that are coming down all around you. You've got a chopper attack mode, which is pretty ridiculous because it is based on a reality TV premise, and I don't see how they'd have the budget for a chopper. But anyway, the chopper flies on ahead of you and targets points along the track, so you have to watch for those points and dodge between them and drift around. The sound is awesome, the explosions are really powerful, the music's really dramatic, and it's definitely one for a good home theatre system to be cranked up. The visuals as well add to this reality TV premise. There's a lot of filters and lens flare effects going on which really add to that sort of style. There's also split screen, which is awesome. Get on there with a friend and just blow up the whole track, blow him up with bits of the track. It's great stuff. So overall, it's very arcadey sort of feel. The drifting is just snap into your drifts, that sort of thing. The experience of the races is just that intense that it has to be checked out. If you like Burnout and you just like arcadey racing games in general, you have to pick this up. Definitely worth the purchase. Now we've got a bit of a classic review of Max Payne 2, which came out a while ago for the PC, PS2 and original Xbox. The first Max Payne was built off the hype of the first Matrix movie, and after that everyone wanted to have a slow motion bullet time mechanic, and it's interesting to go back to this one to just see where it all began. This one definitely at its time did it the best. Slow-mo dives where you try and take out as many guys as you can before you hit the ground, and it's a third-person shooter but very cinematic. Got a film noir style which shows through in the comic strip style intros to each level, and a very involved story as well. Quite convoluted for a game, and you may need to play through a second time to understand everything that's going on. The other thing that's awesome about this game, and what I've got into, is the fact that it was really heavily supported by Rockstar in terms of modding and being able to just create your own content and your own movies with the developer mode. You can toggle the developer mode on with just a little addition to the shortcut, then start flying your camera around in 3D space, start playing the game and flying the camera, and you can make some really cool stuff. And added to that, you've got the mods, which are all based around your Matrix, Equilibrium, that sort of thing. Using those mods and using the developer camera, you can make some really cool stuff. I've done so myself, and check out some of the stuff that I've made using those tools.
Okay, so what do you need?
Guns. Lots of guns.
So yeah, with a capture program like Fraps and developer mode in that game, you can create some really cool stuff like that with a bit of practice. So definitely if you're into that sort of stuff, pick this up for that alone. Otherwise, it's definitely one to just go back and have a look at if you got into Stranglehold on PS3, something like that, where you've got your slow-mo dives, that sort of thing. This is where it all began, so check it out.